Hello, Libras, and welcome to this, your March 1st through March 15th reading and predictions. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my little channel. Now, before I get started, I have to do this. Take a quick look at my subscribers count. I am this close to finally being monetized on YouTube. It has been 2 years of posting these videos, 24 videos a month, 2 videos per month for each of the zodiac signs, and I'm this close. Also, if you wouldn't mind allowing the video to run all the way through until the end. Now, there's 2 reasons for this. One reason is the monetization. I need the hours as well, because to be monetized on YouTube, you not only need subscribers, but you also need a certain number of watch hours, and I'm short there as well. But as well, at the very end of this video, I do have a special surprise. Many of us each month come up with questions that we require a yes no answer to, and we just can't seem to answer it for ourselves. So at the very end of this video, I have a deck of cards that has exclusively yes no answers in it. And so I will be presenting you with an opportunity, Libra, to pose your question, and I will be pulling a yes no card for you. All right, now let's get started on your reading. Last month, I'm just going to pull this up for February. I'm just going to have a quick peek at my notes here. For February, in your last reading, there was a request from the cards, and the cards indicated it was time for you to take off a mask. You had been wearing a mask when you were around certain people, and your authentic self was not being allowed to shine through. And so the Judgment card came out as well, along with this mask card, this card that indicated that you were wearing a mask. And you were being asked to sit in judgment of yourself. Sit in judgment and say, why have I been wearing a mask? Why did I find it necessary to hide certain aspects of myself from the world? And am I ready? Am I prepared to take the mask off and live in authenticity and show the world who I really am? So that was your last message from the cards and from the universe. So let's tap in and let's see where we're going this month, Libra. Now, where are we going? All right, we're going to go and we are going to start with the light seer. For whatever reason, the light seer likes to start off a lot of the readings. All right, we have the Queen of Wands. Oh my goodness, we have the Eight of Swords. There is another card under the Queen of Wands, but I can't see what card it is. Okay. Let's get started. So the first card out is the Queen of Wands. Right below the Queen of Wands, we have the Two of Cups. And we also have the Eight of Swords. So let's get started. The Queen of Wands is the queen of taking action. She is the queen in the deck who also has more of a spiritual aspect to her. In some decks, she appears with a black cat, and in some decks, she appears with certain aspects that show that she's more in touch with her intuition than perhaps some of the other queens in the deck. But this is a queen of fire. She is represented by the element of fire, and she is all about taking action in order to be able to achieve what she wants. She knows what she wants. She's confident in what she wants, but she still has that step of taking action. Now, for those of you who have studied the law of attraction, yes, I'm going to go there. I mean, law of attraction, we've got all these buzzwords, yada, yada, and it's become quite cliche. But that doesn't negate the fact that the law of attraction is real. But the law of attraction works in different ways in different people's lives. But the one tenet of the law of attraction is that you cannot just sit in Gya Mudra and go, I wish for this to come into my life and I can see it. And I wish for this to come into my life and I can see it. The law of attraction doesn't work like that. Eventually, you have to get to this Queen of Wands where you get up off your butt and you begin to take the action. That means if you are trying to manifest a new job, for example, Libra, you have to actually get out there and put your applications in. You have to let the world know that you exist. Because sitting in your living room, you're not going to be able to manifest that which you desire. The next card that you have is the Two of Cups. Now, whenever we have the twos appear in the tarot, twos are all about decisions. The Two of Cups is ruled by the element of water, but it also taps into the emotional realm. So you do have a decision that needs to be made, and this decision pertains specifically to something that is affecting you emotionally. Oftentimes, it has to do with a relationship that we have in our lives, and we're deciding, do I really want to keep this person in my life, or am I going to move forward in this romantic connection? Is it right for me? These are the types of questions that are coming in for you right now. And then we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is about feeling like we are trapped. It's about feeling like we are blindfolded and our hands are bound and we really can't move forward in our lives. But the caveat is that we've done it to ourselves. Once again, Libra, this authenticity, this taking responsibility for our own lives and where we're at comes into play. Reading these three cards for you together, I've given you the individual meanings of the cards, but reading these three cards together, it's an indication that you are being called by the universe to get out there and get going. Make a decision. Yes, the decision is close to your heart. It's an emotional decision, but once you make that decision and get up and begin to move, the rule of thumb with the wands, the suit of wands, when it comes up in readings is because it's ruled by the element of fire. If somebody lights a fire underneath your butt, you're probably going to move. You're probably going to take action. And the queen, being second from the top of the suit of fire, she's really, really lighting that fire. In fact, she's fanning the fire. She's creating more heat. Like, let's get going. The Two of Cups is saying, hey, you've got this decision to make. Yes, it's near and dear to your heart. It may be a difficult emotional decision. It may involve a partnership, both either a romantic partnership or it could involve a business partnership. But either way, there is some kind of coming together of two people, and you need to make a decision about that. And you may feel like you're trapped. You may feel like, oh my God, I can't make this decision and I'm trapped and I can't do this and I can't. When you have that mindset, that mind frame of I can't, listen closely to your words, Libra, because some of the words you may be using are excuses because you don't want to make the decision, because you don't want to take the action because it's uncomfortable. Let's take a look at what you are focusing on going forward into March. And that card is happily on the ground. That does not make me happy that I have to pick that up. We do have another card that may be coming out. We're not sure if it's going to fall before the end of the shuffle. We shall see. Hold the cards up here so you can see. Yep, there it goes. I believe that fell so that it's going to be in reverse when I turn it over for you, Libra. Okay. Let me get your card off the floor. And I believe it's another two. No, it's the three. The Three of Wands. Again, more action, more fire. You need to make a decision. You need to move forward. And you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is telling me exactly why you have the Eight of Swords coming up. And I'll get to that in just a moment. The Three of Wands is about someone who is ready and willing to demonstrate what they've already learned. They're ready and willing to head out into the world. They have made a decision and it is time to act. It is time to get out there. And this is what you're focusing on. So what this is telling me is that these first three cards that I pulled, the Queen of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Eight of Swords, is where you're at now here at the end of February as I'm doing this reading for you. And you are going to be moving out of that and moving into actually taking action and putting your new thoughts, dreams, desires out into the world, baby steps. But your hesitation in all of this is this Four of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Pentacles is a card of balance your budget. Make sure you don't have more funds going out than what you have coming in. Coming up in the reverse is an indication that you have money worries, and that's why you have this Eight of Swords coming in. You feel like you're trapped as a direct result of your financial situation. One of the things that you can do when the Four of Pentacles comes up in reverse and when you have the Eight of Swords coming into your life is put more trust into the universe. Believe in your own decisions, right? You've got this decision that you've got to make. You have made a decision here, but in order to be able to move forward with this Three of Wands and with the energy of the Queen of Wands behind you, you have to trust. And one of the things that's coming up for me is that you may not have all the answers, Libra. You may not know everything yet, and that's okay. But trust. Trust that the meditations and the intentions that you put forward while you were still in that mode of wanting to manifest, in that mode of getting a clear picture of what you wanted, that you sent that out into the universe and now it's ready to be acted upon. We're going to go to the Osho Zen to take a look at your difficult influences, Libra. Difficult influences and challenges as you move through the first half of March. Yeah. And this card is actually amazing that it's come out for you. Difficult influences and challenges, you have the inner voice coming out. This card corresponds to the High Priestess in the General Tarot, and this corresponds to your inner voice. The High Priestess is all about tapping into your intuition, trusting that what you have put out into the world with your thoughts and desires, when you begin to take action on them, are going to manifest in the way that is best and greatest for your highest good. But this came up in your difficult influences, indicating that you're shying away from trusting your intuition. You're shying away from, oh, I don't know if I made the right decision. Well, when you doubt yourself, again, your thoughts create your reality. If you are doubting yourself, then the universe is going to hesitate in bringing you what it wants to bring you. And the very next card that you have in your difficult influences is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles represents abundance. He is the richest king in the deck. He has absolutely no concerns about money and wealth, but you got this card in your difficult influences. So I encourage you on the deepest level, Libras, to explore your relationship with abundance. As you move through this first half of March, Four of Pentacles in reverse, difficult influences, you have the King of Pentacles, difficult influences, you have the High Priestess and the inner voice. These three cards are telling me to encourage you on the deepest levels of your psyche and being. Explore your relationship to wealth. It is blocking you. It is making you feel like this Eight of Swords. It's making you feel trapped. And when you finally have that breakthrough and that realization that you are an abundant being, you are entitled to financial wealth and abundance. You are entitled to an abundant life and to freedom. When you realize that and internalize that on a very deep level, a very large shift is going to happen for you. But there is inner work that needs to be done, and there's a healing that needs to be done. And I would even venture to say that there's a good chance that what's coming up for you is wounding, a deep, probably childhood wound directly related to financial abundance, perhaps from parents or someone else saying something that you internalized, and you internalized it or interpreted it differently as a child than the way that it was actually intended. And when you explore that very deeply, Libras, you're going to be able to release that belief system, and there's going to be a very large shift here for you. The message from the universe for this month is feel joy in all that you do. This is also a really important card for you, because if you're not enjoying life, if you're not living in the present moment and enjoying what you're doing, despite the fact that you have these underlying issues, despite the fact you have these underlying worries and concerns about money, if you're not living in the present moment and feeling joy in all that you do, the universe is going, well, if they like being miserable, we'll send them a little bit more misery, right? So make sure that you're actually seeing the positive in things. And I know I can hear some of you as I'm recording this video. I can hear some of you going, oh my God, she's just blowing sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns up my, and like she has no idea of what I'm going through. And you might be surprised. You might be surprised that the vast majority of tarot readers and psychics can relate to this lack of abundance belief system that holds them back for a very, very long time. And until they realize that it is their own internal belief system and they're able to release that, that's when it shifts for so many of us in this industry. So I feel you, Libras. Do the deep inner work surrounding abundance. Do abundance meditations. Do meditations that help you to sink deeply and research into your own belief systems surrounding money. And I mean, even for that matter, you can do some of the Neville Goddard work of being able to change and shift your past. I encourage you to look that up. I'm not going to link anything here, but I encourage you to look into Neville Goddard's work on being able to shift your past perceptions of the past. All right, where are we going now? We are going to go to what is unexpected for you. You have the Eight of Pentacles coming in, also known as the Eight of Autumn for this particular deck. There is a card on the floor, but I can't see what it is. It landed face down. Eight of Pentacles is about you taking courses or seminars or going into some kind of retraining. And this may be stemming from your belief system. And it's funny because just before this Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Autumn came up, there was me saying, look up on the internet, do some research, learn about Neville Goddard and his techniques to be able to shift your perception of the past, to shift your interpretation of the past. And now the very next card that came out in your reading, Libra, is the Eight of Autumn. Eight of Autumn, Eight of Pentacles refers to do your research before proceeding, education, update your skills. Look into either going back to school or taking seminars or learning something new online. Go to one of the, you can go to YouTube. You can go to one of the sites where you pay a little bit of money and you can take classes from other people who are experts in their fields, whatever the case may be. This is coming up in your unexpected. And I believe that this is coming up in your unexpected because There is a shift that needs to happen. What you've been doing hasn't been working for you to release your abundance blocks. And so there is this call towards doing something new, learning something new, a new technique in order to be able to release your abundance blocks. And you have the Seven of Autumn, also known as a pentacle. Again, wow, you have a lot of pentacles coming up in your reading. And the Seven of Pentacles is the card of have some patience. Spend some time alone in quiet contemplation. Look at the character on this card. The character on this card is a little fairy who has decided to pull up a piece of pumpkin, sit on it, eat an apple, and quietly contemplate the world. You're being called to do that in your unexpected, and yet you're bumping up against that in your difficult influences with the inner voice. The inner voice, again, is about sit in quiet contemplation, tap into your intuition. And again, you're being called to tap into your intuition here. Final general overall outcome. Where are we going? I'm getting called back over here to the Light Seer Tarot. You have the Three of Wands again. This is the second time the Three of Wands has come out in your reading. So again, it's an indication that you have a decision that you need to make, and once you make that decision, it is time for you to head out into the world and begin to put that into action. Um, you know, you're on the right road. You're on the right path to success. And there are wands guiding you, fire that's guiding you, action, okay? But you have to believe in yourself. So overall, the overall message here today for you, Libra, for the first half of March is believe and trust in yourself. Let go of your abundance blocks and believe and trust in yourself. Trust in the decisions that you're making and then take action on them. All right. Yes, no question. So some people, when they're doing this portion of the reading, they like to close their eyes and they like to ask their question several times, either in their mind or out loud. But definitely ask your question right now. For Libra, we need a yes, no, a yes or a no, please, for Libra. And I'll just shuffle until we have a one card pop out. There we go. Okay. Libra, remember what I said? Trust. Trust yourself. You have the Three of Wands here twice, saying you're headed in the right direction, but you have to trust and believe in yourself. And for your yes, no question, you're going in the right direction. There is your confirmation. All right. Thank you so much for being here, Libras. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, if this resonated deeply for you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. Please help me to achieve my first level of monetization. Also, if this resonated deeply, my contact details are down below if you're interested in booking a private consultation. Take care, everyone. I look forward to having the honor of doing your next reading for you in the middle of March.